Welcome back to Team Crest Commentaries. Last time, we turned off expert mode and whatnot. Talked about the subject of offhand, finally, by the end of the episode. And now here we are.
Here we are, having a much better time now that we're not playing on expert.
Yep. Now, there's something I gotta note. I don't really like these airplane levels.
How dare you not like part of Cuphead? How terrible. You are an awful human being.
Easily. You see, it makes me rather motion sick. This first one isn't so bad. It's mostly the ones in World 2 that do it to me, where I get sick physically from playing them for too long.
So you're a Japanese Spyro player?
No, not that quite motion sick.
I still can't get over that nonsense excuse they used for butchering the Japanese version of Spyro. And then they were surprised when they didn't sell that many copies of Spyro in Japan. It's like, well, what a surprise, you butchered it. They didn't even release the third game over there, so... I wonder if the Spyro Reignited trilogy will be the Reignited Duality?
Who knows?
In Japan.
So, what were we talking about last episode?
Well, I was talking about how it was pretty clear that the boss battles were way more polished than the run and gun stages.
Yeah, and there's the game journalist discussion. What were we saying exactly?
I'm not sure. Something about games journalists and needing to be good at games and needing to play a game all the way through before reviewing it, which is difficult when games are so long.
Yeah, and there are so many to review in a single week.
Yeah, and Nintendo's not helping with the Switch. They basically allow any game on the Switch at this point.
Well, it's because the Wii U had next to nothing.
So, yeah, but that's not an excuse to overload your console with shit. Like, the Switch eShop has got to the point where it's just not fun anymore to go through it. It's boring.
It's been flooded like the Steam market?
Yeah, it's essentially, I would say that Steam is the perfect comparison. Like, you'll fire it up and it'll be like 10 indie games on the front page, and they're all indie run-and-gun games that look like they belong on mobile phone, and you're like, oh great, here we are.
Like those mobile phone games that you reviewed?
Yeah, that were released on the Switch. In Japan, funnily enough, those. Apart from Koi, which was released over here, the others I've touched haven't yet. I'm not sure whether or not to cover Picross 2 or not, because that is now definitely confirmed for a UK release, and it's not Japanesey enough. But I'm definitely going to talk about Gal Metal before its PAL release. She's really not having a good time there.
Nope. And then she enters Moon Time.
You're not getting sick on me now, are you? You feeling good?
What, me?
Yeah.
I'm never feeling good.
Alright.
It's like my MO.
Your modus operandum.
Mm-hmm.
It's a knockout.
World 1 is almost done.
That rhymed.
Yes, it did.
How dare you rhyme on Team Crest commentaries?
And it's seriously bugging me, because we were finally discussing the topic last time, And now I can't remember what it was. Like what we were talking about.
You're finding a flower.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe this will help you remember. Oh, this music is so good, though. I've heard some really impressive covers of the music in Cuphead, especially some stuff done with the Mega Drive sound chip that's really quite impressive.
I haven't heard any of that. Gonna have to drink some water.
I'm sure Sevagun has done some Cuphead stuff. The Sevagun team.
Yeah, Siva Gunner does a lot of things, though.
I haven't really been paying attention much to that whole King for a Day tournament thing they've been doing. But you could sort of tell from the beginning that Unregistered Hypercam 2 would be the winner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Sevagun has been doing like this thing where people are voting on who should be able to take the channel over for one day. And they had a whole bunch of different characters that would take the channel over for a day. And post just rips related to them. And they had a whole bunch of different people, and like they all got voted out one by one, and the winner was Unregistered Hypercam 2, which would be rips relating to the early days of YouTube and that kind of thing. You should have parried off that.
Should have, but biffed it. I suppose instead of just trying to think of what we were talking about, I should just state my own thoughts on reviewing games and stuff like that. In a professional journalism sense, I would really prefer someone with some actual knowledge and not being politically biased, cough, cough, SJWs. Like, I can't remember what the thing was. I think you did an op-mate on it. The guy that said that bigots lost at E3 this year, and it's just like, what is wrong with you?
That was journalism that the UK license fee paid for. That's the biggest insult. I said in my video that I wasn't necessarily offended by the article, that there were some things said in the article that I actually agreed with. The issue was that it was being presented as news and fact when it was an op-ed piece that really should have been marked as such.
Yeah, it was definitely
and the guy who wrote it didn't do himself any favors, because on Twitter he posted a tweet like, "It's always the people with anime avatars," in response to the backlash that he'd received from the article. And it's like, oh my god, like, you're really not doing yourself any favors, mate. You're representing the BBC, for fuck's sake. The British Broadcasting Corporation.
You think it's horrifying how his eyes disappear when he dies?
His soul and his eyes are the same thing. You plucked out his soul. You took out his eyes.
Well, they say that the eyes are the window to the soul, so naturally you have to remove the windows to get inside.
Ah, I never thought about it that way.
Oh boy, more reading time.
Oh boy. Hooray, we read something.
Yep.
The Dye House.
I really like the music in here.
But it's not my time yet.
Well, ain't that a pip? Looks like you really put the kibosh in them debtors. You can head on over to the next aisle. Plenty more marks for you to lean on there.
Okay.
Guys, hang on. Thanks to stars I caught up with you. I believe I found a way out of this mess you're in. Hot dog, you have? Your strength is growing. Soon you'll be a match for that no-good King Dice, and maybe even the devil himself. Golly, do you really think? I do. But you'll never get close to the devil unless you already have those soul contracts in hand. Only then will you get a chance to turn the tables on that fiend. So, when that time comes, do the right thing.
Which is hand over the contracts and don't attack the person who is giving you a chance to correct the error of your ways.
And that's it for this one.
Oh. It's over.
Alright. Well, everyone, we hope you had a fun time today. We'll see you next time. Same crass time, same calm channel.